Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Gift of Giving. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'm the host of this program. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we focus on nonprofits based right here in the state of Nevada. And if you're tuning in from out of state, please stay with us because some of you philanthropists, out there might want to start something similar in your state. Our guests this week represent an organization called Conquer Paralysis Now. And obviously, that's exactly what the organization is trying to do. Our guests are Demetria Larry, she's the program director, and Tyler Yamanuchi, fitness director. Welcome both of you to the program. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule and being with us today.
Thank you.
So first, I'd like to talk about the overview of the organization when it was founded. Can one of you give us the history of it and when it was founded?
Sure. Conquer Paralysis Now is going to be the rebranded of the Sam Schmidt Paralysis Foundation, which was created in 2000 after Sam had an accident which gave him a C3, 4, and 5, which caused him to be a quadriplegic.
Ouch.
At that time, Sam realized when he was going through his rehabilitation and things, there wasn't anything out there for a lot of individuals post accident, after going through rehabilitation. And what do you do after that?
Mm-hmm.
So after that, they rebranded Sam Schmidt Paralysis Foundation to Conquer Paralysis Now in 2014. Collaboratively with they're doing research, advocacy. They're going to work with individuals to see how do we find a cure for paralysis, but we're also going to see how do we allow individuals with spinal cord injuries or any neurological conditions to live an independent life.
Yes. Wonderful goals, and what a nice... Sam's turned a tragedy into something very, very positive, and he's helping more people than he probably knows.
Yes, he has. Sam has done a tremendous opportunity, not just in the Nevada communities and things. He has touched people all around the world with his story, things that he's done, technology that he's brought into the world of spinal cord and neurological conditions has opened everyone's eyes, and his partnerships with other individuals.
That's fantastic. What an incredible human being. And now let's start with you, Tyler. What made you reach out to this organization and become part of it?
Basically, I actually moved up here from Hawaii a few years back. I came to Vegas to kind of look into going into occupational therapy. And during my time of trying to gain residency over here to apply for school, I got in touch with Driven Neuro Recovery Center. I saw they had a position open. And when I looked at the job description and what they did, I was like, hey, this really is something that I wanted to be a part of and maybe work at while I wait to go into school. Once I kind of started over here at the organization and I seen what they've done, like once I walked through the doors, I was already amazed. The technology they have, the equipment, the trainers and everything they do there was totally different from even the rehab hospital that I worked with back at home, which specialized in spinal cord injuries, stroke, brain injuries, and different things like that. The equipment at Driven had more things that I've ever seen in our hospital. And then as I got to see the different aspects of what they did there, because my thought process when it came to this was basically they worked with us at inpatient, we sent them to outpatient, and then they're okay and able to live their lives. Mm-hmm. But Driven actually changed my mindset of what was after inpatient, what was after outpatient, mm-hmm. which left a lot of people with nothing. Some people didn't get the inpatient care that they needed, and some outpatient clinics in Vegas, I found don't even work with a lot of people with spinal cord injuries, mm-hmm. strokes, and different things like that, mm-hmm. unless they're more independent. Mm-hmm. So kind of being that gap and that bridge in between, or even after inpatient rehab and things like that, really opened my mind to see that there's a lot more that we could offer. There's a lot more that was missing in this field to help people that still want to try to recover, gain independence, and just have a community around them to help them out overall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Driven a couple of times, and we're going to be talking about that in the second segment, but Driven is the neurological center that you have, where you have house all this equipment. So
yes,
that's the Driven you were referring to previously. So just so that our viewers know, we'll give out more information on that because that's a very important part of what you're doing. Now, according to your website, over 5 million individuals in the United States are paralyzed. And there are three major causes of paralysis, and there's over 30 neurological conditions, and you help out on all of them. But what are the three main ones that are causing paralysis?
So the three leading causes of paralysis is spinal cord injuries, stroke, and multiple sclerosis, or MS.
Gotcha. And now the spinal cord injury, that's one of the main focuses of CPN.
Yes.
And the cure still remains elusive. To your knowledge, either of your knowledge, has there been any progress made at all in finding a cure?
Yes, so recently CPN actually worked with Unite to Fight Paralysis, who is an organization that is also kind of doing research and goes to like different independent nonprofit charities to help kind of fund some of their research and trials. And one of the things that they're actually funding and what CPN helped fund was NerveGen's NBG291 drug that they're actually doing clinical trials on right now. And it's actually amazing and really groundbreaking in general. When it came to kind of finding that cure for paralysis, a big thing that a lot of facilities push and what even we push is kind of neuroplasticity, kind of working around where that nerve was damaged and also kind of building new pathways to allow for function below the level of injury. With that MVG291 drug, what it actually does, it actually helps break down that scar tissue that damaged the nerves, that damaged the axons that send the signals, and allows those axons to continue to try to send signals again back below the level of injury. So, oh, sorry.
No, just saying. So we haven't got a cure yet, but it sounds like progress is being made, even if it's not a cure, something to help alleviate the pain. It sounds like there is some actual progress being made.
Yep. So there is definitely progress, and a big thing is with this too, on top of what we do at our facilities when it comes to neuroplasticity and other things like that. That's where we're kind of hoping on combining that research and that technology and drugs with what we do to help kind of find that cure for paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Not every injury is the same. Not
No.
everything is like a one shoe fits all size kind of thing. So being able to kind of incorporate everything all together to help even regain some function would be very beneficial for all of our clients, whether it's a drug, whether it's what we do, them even being able to regain their finger function to be able to drive the wheelchair so they could be more independent, a little bit of triceps strengthening so they could transfer and do things on their own, will be really big and really beneficial. So really trying to hit everything all together is the ultimate goal.
Cool. Now you're the fitness director. We're gonna be talking about some of these programs in the next segment when we talk about Driven. And you're also you're the program director. So how did you become program director? Was this a choice, or were you drafted into that position?
Driven found me. Driven and Conquer Paralysis now actually found me. It was literally, I was at an event and I was transitioning out of another nonprofit, was dealing with a couple of family members that had actually had a stroke. And a friend of mine found Driven and said, "Have you heard of Driven Neuro Recovery Center?" And then I started researching and looking more on Conquer Paralysis Now and Sam's story, and how Conquer Paralysis Now did the research and then created a facility here in Las Vegas, Driven, to put all that into play, which was created and worked a lot by Brandy Kirka, who's our executive director. So I did what everybody does. I submitted my resume. They liked me. Got to interview with Tyler, multitude of individuals on the management level, and I'm coming up on 3 years now. So my job is really going to be to oversee Driven Las Vegas, operational wise, but also short-term and long-term strategic goals for us.
We're going to be talking about Driven in the next segment. Please stay with us, everyone, and learn about this wonderful neurological center that we have right here in Las Vegas called Driven.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at PacificCoastCap.com.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to welcome back our guests, Dimitri and Tyler. Thank you again for taking time out from your jobs today and being with us. And in this segment, folks, we're going to talk about the Driven Neurological Center. And let's start with you, Dimitri. How long has Driven actually been around, the Neurological Center?
Here in Las Vegas, Driven Neuro Recovery Center, the doors opened in 2018.
Okay.
So that's going to take the time frame when Conquer Paralysis now was rebranded. Sam Schmidt Foundation was rebranded from 2014.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, from 2014 to 2018, the Conquer Paralysis Now team said, we want to see all the research we've been doing, all the advocacy, all the information we've been pulling in. We want to see it in action.
Mm-hmm.
So in November of 2018, they opened the doors to Driven Neuro Recovery Center, located at 701 East Bridger Avenue, Suite 150, located downtown. When you walk in, it's a community. It is a community of people. Staff are like family. Everyone that attends there is family. Again, you could have just a basic gym membership. And again, it's a full fitness and wellness center that is accessible. Even though it's accessible, you could be able-bodied and even come into that gym. We don't turn anyone away if this is a comfort level for you.
So you have able-bodied, and if people are in wheelchairs,
Mm-hmm.
they can still come and there'll be something there for them. I saw there are 3 programs, and I'm sure that you have others as well that we'll talk about towards the end of this segment. But the first one, you have a yoga class,
Mm-hmm.
And that's a freebie. That's available to veterans and wounded warriors, or is it specifically tailored for veterans and wounded
It's open
warriors?
to the community.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, kind of at Driven, individuals can have just a basic gym membership. If you are a member of Driven, that class is available to you at no cost at all. Again, when Driven was created with the minds of Sam and Brandy, we want to be a one-stop shop for people.
Yes.
We want you to be able to do your therapy, work out in the gym, be around great fitness directors and other fitness and experts there, but also too, we're working on the mind as well. That's that holistic approach of the mind, body, and soul, the physical, the emotional, and the mental.
Gotcha. Now, how many people attend the yoga sessions? Let's just
depending on the time of year, definitely after the new year, everybody's back into the swing of things. And then, of course, when you get to the Vegas or Nevada weather, it gets a little warm, so not everybody's out. So you can look at an average about 5 to 15 individuals. There is no reservation. I'd love for us to get to a point where we need to have a reservation for that, but it is opened up to the public. We are partnered with another yoga studio who actually brings someone in who is aware of how to do seated yoga for individuals with spinal cord, traumatic brain injuries, MS, Parkinson, anything on the neurological, or someone like myself who just might want to just take a breather. I even go into the classes and I work on my breathing and things of that nature. So we won't turn anyone away. But if you are a member of Driven, there is no cost. If you're someone from the community without a membership to Driven, it is a $15 drop-in fee. But usually when we get people that drop in, they end up becoming a gym member.
Gotcha. And will there be a limit to the number of people that can attend? I mean, right now you have between 5 and 15, depending on the season. But space-wise right
now, I would say we're probably getting about the 20 is a good number for us. But if we need to, we could expand that into multiple days and multiple different sessions throughout the day.
Gotcha.
If we find there's a need, we will always work to supply for that need.
And now, how frequently do you have this program at this point in time? Right
now, we're doing it the first 3 Tuesdays of the month. That actually coincides with right after our weightlifting club on Tuesdays. We have our weightlifting club that happens. And then a lot of individuals leave weightlifting club and then they go to yoga. It kind of gets their breathing, gets them back, it's centered and things after being in weightlifting club.
Now in the yoga, is there one instructor or do you have
They can bring in multiple instructors. One week they might be doing more of a sound bowl.
Gotcha.
Another one,
Mhm.
it might be true meditation with breathing exercises.
Mhm.
It might also, the next week might be a combination of both.
Oh, okay. Comprehensive yoga class. And so now the other program you have is strength and conditioning. And is that where you're part of that program, the strength and conditioning one?
Yes, I definitely assist with the strength conditioning, and then I also have a couple of trainers that actually lead the strength conditioning as well. And that is kind of created to kind of have like a more high intense. It's more like a high intense weightlifting club, but also focused with a lot of the wheelchair athletes. So a lot of athletes that play wheelchair football, rugby, basketball, hockey, and we even have some people that even do archery and powerlifting. Those are the athletes that come to the strength conditioning classes that our coaches hold, that our trainers hold, and then they go into more functional fitness of how to kind of help them in their sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are these group sessions or is it one-on-one, mano a mano?
So it's kind of like more like a group. So a lot of these athletes are a lot more independent. And then we have like the couple coaches, they go in there, they help set up as needed. Some athletes work with each other as well. So it is kind of like more of like a group like fitness. And basically you kind of look at it just like any other professional or even college sport team. You have the whole strength conditioning going on with like the football programs. Everyone has their racks they're working out on. They have their pre-built programs that the coaches created for them, and they're working out together, and trying to reach their goals.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how we run it, just the same way. These athletes we treat as professionals. They all want to win. They all want to be a part of it. They all want to get better. And that's kind of what we put out on the floor for them. It gets loud. It gets exciting. We keep everyone motivated. We push everyone to their limits. And, we just have a great time over there.
And how often do you have these programs?
And strength conditioning is once a week. Normally that happens every Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. Athletes could drop in.
Wow.
Normally, it's 2 hours. So that's why I said it's a little bit more intense. It's longer for a
Yes.
lot of athletes to kind of be there for 90 minutes up to 120 minutes compared to our weightlifting clubs, which are normally about 15 minutes to a full hour.
Okay. Let's talk about the weightlifting clubs now. How many members do you have in that? Well, that's a club. So do you physically have to join that weightlifting club? Part of it, is that just
it's kind of just a
semantics?
word. Yeah, we kind of
Just a
just use
word.
like club. It's open to all gym members, and it's even open to caregivers as well. We have kind of two different weightlifting clubs. One is just like a club time on the gym floor. We have trainers and technicians on the floor helping clients use the equipment, teaching them how to do proper form, for a lot of them be independent as well. And then we also have a one club time where it's kind of like a group fitness class where they do boxing or band work, circuit training. And then we actually have one client who is now leading kind of like a dance Zumba class, like once a month for that as well. So that one's a lot more interactive. Everyone's kind of working out together, having fun. You'll see the boxing classes. A lot of our clients kind of beating on our trainers who are holding the mitts and things like that for them. And then you have like our regular weightlifting club time where individuals that are doing a little bit more strength training and even wanting to relearn how to do strength training with their new condition. So maybe one day they could go back to a normal gym and still be able to work out over there as well.
Cool.
And to add on that, what Tyler just went through, we also have realized how much of the social aspect that these different programs bring.
Yes.
Because we will see individuals start to build their own little community. They may say, hey, we're going to meet up for weightlifting. And then after that, we're going to go to yoga, and then we're going to go grab lunch. So then too, we're also we have some individuals that might do weightlifting club, and then they might start a game of chess over in our social corner area.
Nice.
Where they can have coffee and do things like that. So it's not just only just focusing on the strength and conditioning on the physical aspect. It is also touching on that emotional and mental, which that social component comes into play as well.
Yes. Now, these are the three main programs you have, and I think you mentioned that you have some other programs.
Yes, we have a mental wellness one. It's known Minds in Shape. We'll be restarting that, kicking that off in April. With that, I actually have 2 licensed therapists that will come in, and we will actually ask people that participate, what are the things you want to know about? Some might want to know about accessible travel. Some might want to know about, yeah, because a lot of people don't have those conversations.
No.
And when you travel, sometimes as able-bodied individuals, we don't think about those things. But when you're having conversation and someone tells you, you know what, I just went to the Super Bowl, you know, I may ask, how was that experience for you?
Yes.
We will send out information throughout our system of different accessible travel opportunities, able to rent vehicles when you're that are accessible, vans and things when people are traveling. We may actually, in that Minds and Shape, they might have the conversation of how to give grace to a caregiver and how does a caregiver give grace to you? Because again, going through different situations and traumatic things, sometimes we forget about the thank you.
Yes.
So our therapist will actually take them through that. And then also too, it's also the social component.
Absolutely.
To realize you're not alone as well while you're going through. And it's like Tyler mentioned earlier, you might have 3 spinal cord injury individuals, but their journey is not going to be the same.
Oh, of course not. No.
So we definitely focus on that. And we encourage individuals to have those conversations. Someone might come in and go, I want to drive again. Well, it might be teaching them how to use a sliding board, building their core, and before you know it, they're driving, and they're going to motivate someone else.
Yep.
There's a lot of motivational aspects to the driven.
It's definitely not a place you can come in and be down in the day. Someone's going to pick you up sooner or later.
And that's why you're called driven.
Exactly.
Hold that thought. We're going to be right back. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to take a brief sponsorship break. We'll be right back.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Here comes a triple yodel.
Budget deficits, national debt, presidential elections, government shutdowns, global conflicts in Europe, global conflicts in the Middle East, global pandemics, interest rates, rising inflation. Markets go up and markets go down for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the volatility of the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Your financial strategy can make all the difference. I'm Joshua Dowden. At Priority Wealth Partners, your goals are our goals. We believe people can live better lives with smart financial education and knowledge. We work closely with clients to match strategy with individual needs. Our personal financial strategies have helped investors accomplish their goals while reducing market volatility, and we can help you too. You've worked hard to get where you are now. Your financial plan should work hard for you in retirement. Conveniently located in downtown Summerlin, my name's Joshua Dowden. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-808-6513. That's 702-808-6513.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying with us and learning more about CPN, Conquering Paralysis Now, and its subsidiary Driven. And I'd like to welcome back Dimitri and Tyler. Thank you for taking time out again and spending it with us. Now, I saw on your website you have a center in Indianapolis. How did that come about? Indianapolis, you know? And do you plan on expanding elsewhere at this point in time?
As people kind of learn more about Conquer Paralysis Now and Sam's story, Sam is tied to the race car world. Sam is a IndyCar driver.
There you go.
That kind of ties Indianapolis there.
There's your answer right there.
Yeah. So, and they also have a large fundraiser that they put on that actually helps funding for Driven Neuro Recovery Center. The little difference between Driven in Indianapolis and Driven in Las Vegas, right now that's about 100,000+ square feet. It's going to be able to house adaptable sports and things of that nature in there as well. We have our partner that's in there as known as Neuro Hope. So they are doing a kind of a trifecta of personal training, OT, and actually be 4 things: speech therapy, and the exact same type of training that we're doing at Driven.
Okay.
So Driven Near Recovery Center, when Conquer Paralysis took over that building, it was says, we're going to give resources to the community. So bring your resource in. We're going to give you the facility to do that.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that sounds like that's really going to expand and take on a whole new,
Yeah. And Sam's
add a
ties.
whole other
Yeah.
new dimension to your
Yeah, and
your
Sam's ties
program.
to the Indian car world and just people. Sam's just a lovable guy.
Yes.
If you sit down and you have a conversation, before you know it, you're 2 to 3 hours in, and he's such a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
And then when we have our fundraisers and people come from all around, actually one of our fundraisers we do is at Speed Vegas on a race car track.
There you go. I'm talking about fundraisers first. Let's talk about donations and how you get your money. Now there are fees for some of these programs that you have in Driven. Does insurance cover any of those costs for the membership?
Unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover any of that. So that's
okay.
the key part of our parent Conquer Paralysis now. While they're doing the research and the advocacy, they're doing the fundraising, they're assisting us with the grants, all of those things to get the funding to run our location. Because without that funding and no insurance, how are individuals going to get access to those services?
So where does the bulk of the donations come from? Do you get government grants, or
It can be a huge mixture. It can
corporations
be a mixture.
and
All of it.
all of the
All,
above,
all the above,
individual-
and any extra
individual
that want
donations.
to donate.
And then, as you alluded to fundraisers, do you have any upcoming fundraisers that?
We do have our Racing to Recovery Gala that's in Indianapolis. That's about 600 plus individuals, and we actually do a watch party here in Vegas. So
Okay.
we actually stream into the gala, where everyone's all dressed and in tuxedos and everything, and they get to see us here, and we put on a watch party. And then the funds from that can support Indianapolis location and Las Vegas. And then Las Vegas, actually, we do a fundraiser in October known as Drive to Thrive, which actually the Aero Sam car, which Sam drives with his head. We actually offer clients, 10 of our clients every year to drive that car.
Wow.
And then the next day we go out to Speed Vegas, and individuals can actually donate to get a ride with Sam in the
cool.
car. So it's probably not your typical type of fundraiser. It's not a black type, but it's a great day if you're a race car fan or a car fanatic, or someone like me 3 years ago that knew nothing about the race car world, about cars, to see this. And then to see individuals that thought they would never drive again, get into the Sam car and drive it. It's it's inspiring.
Yes,
truly.
Yes, but it brings goosebumps to a lot of people
Yeah.
too. And you say it's a different way of raising money.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
You know, really, if it brings in the money. Now, I'm sensing there's a paid staff and volunteers. It's a mixed organization, right? You have some paid and some volunteers. Is there much in the way of volunteer opportunities within the organization?
With our programs that we have at Driven, outside of like the programs, you're really going to see everyone else's paid staff, because we are looking at, on Tyler's side, his staff he has are going to be individuals that have gone to school for
Professionals.
exercise science, kinesiology, personal training, physical therapy, all of those different things.
Yes.
We do have students that do work for us because they're working in those areas. This is probably the most hands-on any student is going to get, and definitely be able to touch on the neurological side of things as well, because all of our equipment located in the Driven location is going to be a different facet of some way. You might have seen this equipment somewhere else, but now you're going to connect how we're working with the brain and the body at the same time.
Yes.
And then they'll actually get to see how impactful one piece of equipment might be for someone, and then see their progress from 3 months to 6 months to 9 to 12 to 15.
Yes.
Because we don't turn anyone away. The only way anyone stops coming to Driven if that's by their choice. We don't ever turn anyone away. As we talked about with Conquer Paralysis now, they help me be able to sponsor up to 50% of our clients that come to Driven. So if someone has any type of financial situation that they can't actually be able to pay those things, we will work with them
Gotcha.
to be
That's
able
nice.
to fulfill their independence. We don't want financials to be a burden. We
No.
want you to be the captain of your ship and to be
Mhm.
independent.
Nice. That's a wonderful note to end this program, that you're wanting all these people to be independent. And hopefully with the new medicine that you alluded to earlier, that's going to help out. And hopefully one day we will actually conquer paralysis. So before we leave, would you like to share out with our viewers the website information and contact information? Please share with our viewers.
For our 501c3, you can go to www.conquer Paralysis Now, or for Driven Las Vegas, you can go to www.drivenlasvegas.org.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing that information. Thank you for being guests on the program. I think you shed a load of light on your organization and what people with paralysis are dealing with and going through on a daily basis. So
Thank
I'd
you.
like to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in. I hope you found this program informative and interesting. And if you know of anybody who could benefit from Conquer Paralysis Now or Driven, please go to their websites and call them, and I'm sure they will be happy to help you out. And please share this interview with anyone who you know who could benefit. I'd also like to thank John Stiles, the show's producer and station owner, for allowing me to host this program. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out to me at Stephen@thegiftofgiving.vegas. And I'd certainly like to thank our sponsors for making this program happen. Without them, there wouldn't be a program. They are Pacific Coast Capital, Priority Wealth Partners, Firelight Barn, RJ Champion, and Friends of the Gift of Giving. These are donors to the program who wish to remain anonymous but support the program financially anyway. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you'll join us again next week. In the meantime, stay safe, be kind to one another. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Mr. RJ Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.